My name's Afsara. I'm in the Vancouver office. I am the office manager, people operations representative, and the office mum.
So what does an office mom entail? Were you invited to take on that role, or did you just want to be there?
I think it's part of my nature to be bossy and tell people off. So when someone's leaving their mug in the kitchen sink, they will see me glaring at them. I mean, and also slack shaming people. I mean,
Oh, so this is office mom, as in uh, grow up and be an adult.
exactly,
Yeah.
yes.
I
And yeah.
I was envisioning office mom as the caring nurturer. You do that too.
Oh, yeah, yeah, let's say that. I like that one better. Let's go with that.
Okay. Uh, what are some sort of your routine responsibilities or things that you're doing? Like you're such a your your role is such an essential presence in the office. Uh, can you just help me and others understand like all these um, uh, less visible things that you do to like help
Mhm.
us stay moving and organized?
Sure. I have a very varied role. If you had a look on Glassfrog, you can see all the different accountabilities that me and my team have, and it's pretty great because it means our day is always changing. So some of the things we do, obviously, it's a little bit different with the pandemic, but otherwise, we try and do a lot on the back end of just improving processes, finding quicker, easier way to do things, essentially trying to do anything we can to create great experiences for all the IQers.
A, a really superficial um, description of your primary role would be physical presence. So with the pandemic, like what objectives have emerged, or the what's changed in terms of the definition of what you do?
So now we are actually having the opportunity to do a lot more project work, which has been amazing for my team because it's something we didn't ever have the time to do before. So for example, I'm currently working on revamping the onboarding process so we can improve the overall experience for our new hires. This kind of involves things like updating our cultural orientation, generating more training opportunities, and creating more content on the wiki for new hires to use. And we've also done things like talking to lots of different leads around the company to find out what they want in the onboarding process. So that's led to us making a team lead onboarding package, which will be really useful for them to help leads facilitate the onboarding process.
I think uh, you probably have a very unique perspective on just what that newbie's experience is. Like that's another place where you're the office mom, is when they just like, I have no idea what's going on. You're
Mm-hmm.
probably the person they come and
Yeah.
talk to. How do you how does that experience help you define the onboarding? Are you able to address some of the things that you see that they need?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we have a lot of check-ins with new hires. We have 5 proper like booked-in check-ins throughout their first year. And we deep dive in each of those sessions to talk about the experience so far and gather feedback for my team to use to improve the process. But also, we try and Slack them and talk to them as we walk by to their desk and everything. Just provide them with everything they need to continue having a good experience.
I I don't think I've ever expressed appreciation for somebody who actually checks in on me, and I'm guessing that they don't either. So I just suddenly have this urge to tell you how important that is, that somebody actually is like paying attention to them as a person, because otherwise
Definitely.
they're just like, I'm swamped by this stuff.
Yeah, especially in this situation where we're working remotely. onboarded quite a few new hires remotely, and I have to say they've all been amazing. It's definitely not just been me having to reach out to them. They've been really great with taking part in all the remote activities we've offered and coming to like social hours and everything like that. So it's definitely a two-way street.
Oh, so I'm super curious to hear your perspective on what their experience has been like. Like I've met a few people that have onboarded, and they've been doing a lot to sort of get connected. But what have you realized is just really hard to share with them, or what are they just struggling with joining a company where they've not physically met anybody?
I think the hardest thing is they're missing out on those chats by the coffee machine, or being able to just wander up to someone and ask a question, whereas you have to book everything in now as a meeting, and it takes away that spontaneity from those experiences. But on the other hand, we've tried to combat that by offering as many of those experiences as we can. We've got escape rooms, we've done a murder mystery, we've done trivia, as well as happy hour. So always looking for more opportunities to do things like that. And I have to say, our new hires especially have been involved in all of that.
That's great. I'm gonna bounce back to the project work you're doing a bit. You are I inherited the administration of this Pluralsight license that ends like in a month, and there's only been a really tiny handful of individuals that went on there that weren't like prescribed or told that they really have to go on there. You went on there and like we're seeking things out, and it just we've never talked about it, but it felt to me like this was your desire to find some things rather than you have to go do this. Can you just tell me why you went on it and what you've been learning, why you're doing it?
Sure. So I took on a new role semi-recently, a few months back, to be a project coordinator within people operations. And I really wanted to learn some techniques that would help me in that role. And so I sought out Pluralsight through my lead. And it's been really helpful just to get some actual framework around project management, project coordination, to support me in that role. There was a couple of good modules on there about the communication aspect, because I've done a fair bit of project work before, but kind of it was all on me and I was doing it, whereas this is definitely at IQ, I'm working with a lot of people and I have a fantastic team. So trying to go from just being someone who's doing it by myself to then being able to share the work and communicate well, and setting goals and deadlines and everything. It's been really useful just to get a few tips around that, to make it more structured and organized for everyone on the team. So it's not all in my head anymore.
What do people not know office administrators are doing to influence the workplace, that people don't realize that you're behind the scenes making it happen?
Oh, interesting question. I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize that we are the drivers between all the people operations processes. We have had roles in support managing, so helping anyone that's maybe going through a difficult time and wants someone to talk to, as well as, like I said, improving all these processes where you see, like, for example, we'll have this team lead onboarding package, but people may not realize we are the ones creating this content. There isn't anyone else doing that really other than my own team. Shout out to Alison, Sasha, and Leanne right here. It's definitely always a team effort. Yeah, and also obviously everyone sees the events and things we put on, and there's a lot of collaborative effort within my team that goes a long way. And there's just so many small things that we do that we don't even realize we do sometimes. It's just because sometimes like anything ad hoc will fall our way, and you know, it goes beyond stocking the drinks fridge, as I think some people might think is what we do. I'm very excited to launch all these new onboarding aspects. I think that'll be really great. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that we are the people operations team. They see us as just the person that sits at the front desk, rather than we actually hold all these roles and have all these accountabilities across all the areas of people operations, as well as office management. It's both rolled into one, which you don't get very often at companies. It's usually you have an office manager and you have someone else doing people operations, but we're doing both. I also help the executives with some of their things as well, so there's that. But no, we really enjoy it, and we definitely get appreciation, though. It's not that we never get appreciation at all. It's definitely not like that. You know, especially my office, they're amazing. They're always, you know, doing shout outs for me and saying thank you and everything, and it's great. You know, it's nice to feel appreciated. But yeah, I guess it's just the small things that people don't realize.
Yeah, I see that you're appreciated, and you are such a just across the board such a wonderful, enthusiastic, energized team. I think what I fear is that you observe things that we maybe don't ask enough about. Like, I feel like you can see when processes or people are being ignored.
Mm-hmm.
Like for these new individuals that are starting, I might realize once every 3 weeks, oh, those people must be having such a tough time. Mm-hmm. But you're actually observing it a lot more.
Yeah. The lucky thing is that we are in the position to be able to then, you know, catch up with these people and be like, hey, because, you know, part of our role is to get to know everyone in the office. And so I'm very fortunate to know all 96 people in the office well enough to have, you know, a catch up with or something like that. And I hope they all feel comfortable with me as well. So yeah, it is good. And we're also lucky that our leads are very, very open to any suggestions we give. They're always asking us for feedback or for ideas. So we have a great team in that sense. Good communication, lots of opportunity to take part in any change. So it's really good.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing this with me. I hope this was a good experience for you. Mm-hmm. I know as goofy as it might seem, it's really helpful for people to hear this and maybe to ask some of those simple questions that nobody gets to ask. So thank you very much.
This is great. Thanks very much, Nevin.